Welcome everybody. We're going to talk about everything Figma. Let's start with the basics for FAQs. We're going to talk about, is Figma free? Is the big one I get. Yes, you can get really professional results out of the free version of Figma. Not Pigma, Figma. Okay. There are little features that you can work around. The real problem when you probably need Pro is when you've got lots of clients. And that's probably when you can afford Pro. So it's this lovely balance where they've got, let me check. Let me turn that off. Let me see if that fixes the noise. I'm doing a live stream and this noise is happening. Where is that? We'll try and fix that and we'll turn that down. All right, so yeah, you can get pretty far with the free version of Figma. You need the Pro version kind of when you can afford it. So it's this great balance. The next question is, what does it do? Essentially, you could be using, it's for UX UI design. It's basically for prototyping websites. It doesn't build them, so you can't code. We kind of can now in something called Figma Sites, but it's more of a, hey client, you've got a brief. I kind of know what I want to do. And you've told me what you want. What I do now is I go and mock it up really quickly in Figma. It's a rapid prototyping tool. So it just means that I can take the brief, send it to the client. It looks and feels pretty close to the finished thing. You need to be clear that it's not, but it's way faster than coding it and giving it to them. Okay, that kind of old waterfall way where you go brief, we'd analyze it with maybe some mood boards, and then we'd kind of build out prototype, and then we'd make this thing and give it to the client. And the client would go, I don't like it. Or worse still, the client loves it and you send it out to the public and the public goes, we don't like it. Because it doesn't really matter if the client likes it. It's about whether it gets used and does its purpose. So that's where Figma fits in. It is rapid prototyping. You can make it look for the client like it's kind of real and it's really quick as a designer. So they approve it. Then you do some testing, which is really quick as well. Okay, haven't built this app, you can kind of fudge it. Fudge is the wrong word, but you can prototype this thing so it feels real and get real-time feedback real quick. And if the customer really hates it, you can change it real quick. And you can go back to them and say, what about this version? What about this version? What about this? And you can get to a really nice working version, not working version, mock-up, okay? And when everyone's happy, the users love it, the client loves it, then you can give it to your developers and say, go make that now. Go away, scurry away, make that. Okay, and that is way faster and way cheaper. That's what Figma's for, rapid prototyping. Let's talk about, let's move my screen here. The difference between Figma and FigJam, Fig Sites. Okay, there's a bunch of different things that Figma have made. Figma, the thing I described, was the only thing. Then they came up with FigJam, which is basically a giant whiteboard for jamming. Okay, with other other colleagues. Okay, you dump stuff onto it and you can add post-it notes, you can chat, you can live stream. Okay, it's kind of a collaborative tool. If you've ever heard of Miro, it's exactly like Miro. It's a direct competitor. Okay, we kind of flop between using Miro and FigJam. So that's what it's for. It's not part of this course. It's just a different thing. And it's a different kind of software that they bundle in as part of their license. And it's really cool, but it's not part of the course. And it's really good, but separate. There you go, that's what FigJam is. I get asked that all the time. If you've got any questions, let me know in the live chat. I'm gonna get to them in a sec. Do I need to install Figma or can I just use the browser? Basically, Figma you can use in a browser, Mac or PC, Chrome, okay, in a browser, and it works exactly like the downloaded desktop app. It doesn't matter, just use one. I use the desktop app because I'm old and everything used to be on the desktop, so I like it to still be on the desktop. They're one and the same, they kind of use the same back-end goodness, okay, but you can work in the browser perfectly and not need a hardcore machine. It works really good on the browser. Other questions, what's the difference for something like Sketch or Adobe XD? Okay, there is a lot of alternatives for Figma, but basically there's only one. If you want to get employed, if you're a freelancer, just use Figma. There's other ones that they're not even comparable. They're good enough. If you said I had to use Sketch, then I would go use it. It's fine. I could do everything I need to. But I love all the bells and whistles of Figma. And basically, my Figma skills are employable. My Sketch skills, not so much. There are lots of other companies that just went out of business because Figma got so popular and they couldn't keep up. Adobe XD was Adobe's version of it. They have stopped supporting that. Okay, you can't even use it anymore, and they quit doing Adobe XD so they could buy Figma. Tried to buy Figma. There was a whole bunch of what do you call it? Monopoly. I want to say monopoly, like the little dog and the guy with the top hat. But like the government said, no, you can't buy this really good software because you're just going to own everything. There's a word for it, and I can't think of it. All I'm thinking about is little Monopoly guys. What is Figma Sites? That's a new cool one. So when I said Figma is all about prototyping and not actually making it, then you give it to the developers. It was always kind of a hassle. What you did is you kind of mocked it up all in Figma, made it exactly how you want it. You could prototype it to a point, and then once the client and the customer's happy, you go and make it. Your making it was a couple of options. You could hire a developer to go do it. You could try and recreate it in something like WordPress, or you go out to something like, I want to say Webflow. I've got a course on that as well. So Figma and Webflow did a lot together. You build it, and if you want to build it yourself, say you're a designer, more like me, you understand the web, but you're not a coder. Okay, you're not a programmer or a developer or an engineer. Okay, you're a designer, web designer, you can kind of do stuff. That's where Webflow is really good. Okay, it allows you to kind of take your Figma designs and use what's, a visual builder to build out the website, which is perfectly great and has a lot of depth. Figma made one. They made a complete alternative to Webflow, and it's called Figma Sites. Okay, we do a little intro in the course for Figma Sites. It's just small, just so I get so much questions like, what is Figma Sites? And I show you kind of like a brief overview in the Figma Essentials course, the link in the description if you want to do my Figma Essentials course. It's not much, don't think you're going to learn everything about Figma Sites, but I do cover it in the course just to make sure you kind of know what it is and what it does. Now, over to student questions. Remember, if you've got a question about Figma is great, UX design, awesome. The big bright orange jersey that I'm wearing, also good. But leave them in the live chat and I'll cover them now. All right, next one. From 2 steps away. I'm interested in learning Figma. I'm a print graphic designer, not a UX UI designer. In the course specifically for UX UI designers, thanks in advance. That's a great question because no, it is not for UX UI designers. It's to help people become UI UX designers. You're the perfect person. I've got so much to say. What you'll find is that when I got started in UI, UX, okay, user experience, user interface design, I was really scared because I was like, there's some other thing. I was a designer, graphic designer, doing better video, better web design. UX, UI came out and I was totally scared of it because it's like, let's turn it down a bit more. I think my audio is a bit not great. Where are you, audio? Try that, T. So yeah, I was really scared of getting into UX UI because there was all these terms and things I didn't understand and it felt like some other thing. Now that I'm through it and I'm a reasonably experienced UX designer and I teach it, I know that that's what this course is. It's kind of like, audio is not great. Let's switch to this one here. Let me know if this one works, T. Live streaming. So what we're going to do is, I'm so lost. Come on, brain, kick back in. It is, oh yeah, should you do it? Talking to the live stream guy. I'm not going to anymore. So yeah, getting into UX design. The best thing about being a designer first, like a graphic designer or any sort of creative skills and getting into UX design, you've actually shortcutted the system because what you'll find is there's a lot of things that are just totally translatable, like just fit straight in. Like composition, fits straight in. Okay, typography and hierarchy, fit straight in. Color, contrast, fit straight in. Okay, what you'll end up learning through the course, and that's what I do, it's like this, look, you might call it, a type style, but in here it's called a heading 1. Or you're talking about, pixel grids. Some of the terms that I like that I was kind of scary was like the prototyping. It's just making a mock-up. You've done mock-ups in design. Prototyping is that. Okay, if you are doing user testing, or that sounds kind of like it's just giving somebody your mock-up and getting them to use it and taking notes while they use it. And if they go, I'm lost, you go, he was lost. Okay, and you have to learn the language, and that's what I tried to introduce in the course, but there's so much that's the same. It's just there is new language to learn. And the big difference between, say, graphic design and UX design is testing. When I was a graphic designer, I'd make something, the client would trust me, he'd have some input, I have some input, and it was the client and me, and we'd send it out. And that was great. We did it. I was happy, he was happy, I did a great job. Now my job as a UX designer, the big difference from what I was there is the client tells me what they want. I go and check that that's actually what's needed, okay? Then, before we go far at all, I check with a customer or somebody who kind of resembles a customer. Is this the thing you want? Like, do you want an easy to use event planner? Cool. All right. For the elderly, great. Let's find an old elderly person, give them this prototype for an event planner and see if they can use it. And if they can't, let's stop and rejig. Maybe it's got too much. Maybe it's got too little. Maybe we're treating people wrong. Maybe we're treating people right. Maybe they can't see it. Maybe it just needs to be bigger and then it's perfect. Like all that sort of testing, it distances yourself from being like, I am Dan, the designer, and I am right. That's what I was when I was a pure graphic designer. Okay, now I'm Dan Scott. I have an opinion and a hypothesis. So as a client, let's go test it. And detaching yourself from the thing you made, because you're like, I love this. It took me ages. I pushed the pixels around, the kerning's just right, and then then the user trying to use it is lost. Or the button, they can't click it because it's too small on their phone. Or they're trying to sign up and it's like 10 steps and it takes too long and they give up. Okay, it's a hypothesis that I'm testing and not this is what should happen. That's the big difference. Man, that was a long answer to that one, but that was a great question. Whimsical Girl, where do you find Figma AI features would be most helpful in your design process? So some of the new features are the simple ones. The AI features is you can select a couple of like mock-ups, say a home page and a product page, and just grab them both and say, connect it up. It's great. It's like prototype it, and it will start connecting buttons to the page and start making it all work. And it's pretty good. And you're like, wow, that saves some time. So it's kind of useful. It's got a ChatGPT style thing built into it. So you're like, can you put in some placeholder text for cafe here for addressing something, or add 50 results for names and addresses and phone numbers here because I need them for this app or for this website. Those sorts of things are good. Not much different than ChatGPT, right? But that's built in and it's really handy. It's got an image generator, kind of like Adobe has, and Midjourney, okay, that's kind of built into it. Some of these AI features are pro versions and are paid. So some of them are, some of them aren't. So go check that. They do change it. One of the big ones for me is there's something called Figma First Draft. I'm pretty sure it's called First Draft. And basically you can tell it a UI interface. You can say, hey, could you give me this event planner? It's kind of based on, techno, it's the electronica scene. I need an app that has 3 pages. It's for an iPhone, and you can give it lots of detail and it will spew out a rough version of it. It's never going to work. It's not going to replace UX designers. Like I said, UX design is more about testing than it is about making the fonts look good. Okay, that's part of it. Okay, and the part that I love. But it coughs up something, especially if you're new to UI. That's probably the best bit, because sometimes you're like, all right, I got to make a checkout page. I've seen 1,000 of them. What the frick is a good checkout page? So I ask it, make me 10 versions of a checkout page, and you're like, oh yeah, we should have that. Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. And it has them, and they're really nice, and they're like well composite, and the spacing's great, and then they're not consistent. You can change the colors of them as well. Pick a different color, like a dark and a light, or change the color. Pick different fonts, pick the gaps in between. You can get quite far with it's like a mock-up. You know how you go, does everybody do the mock-up where you go and look through your phone, look online, go to Dribbble, go to Behance, and just find cool stuff, and you put it on a board? It's like that, except AI is doing it, and it's a lot closer to the thing that you want. So you're like, oh, cool. I'm looking like a genius. Okay, so it's time saving. It's really a co-pilot. I'm not like AI is not going to take our jobs. Okay, but it's not taking this job anytime soon from what I've seen. There you go. Manuel, as a beginner graphic designer, what things do you suggest from where to start, and if you have any suggestions? Beginner graphic designer. Okay, so we're flipping switches. We're going to look at graphic design and getting started. For me, the best thing that happened to me as a graphic designer is working on actual projects, which is the chicken and egg problem. Okay, so my advice is, if you're just getting started, either self-taught or at school, is find a client. Now, people tell you don't do work for free. Do work for free. Find somebody that needs, it's hard, it's crappy, you don't get paid, but you learn so much in the process. Try and get paid. See if your brother's uncle's cousin's mum needs a website for this idea she's probably not going to do anyway. Do it. Okay, work out how to do a brief. Okay, work out the fundamentals. Like, it's easy to find online. Okay, we need to have a client call, or a chat or an email. Send them a brief. Try and do all the things you're meant to do, and do them horribly, because you have to do them horribly. At least you have to do them horribly before you can do them well. There's no shortcutting that. Okay, you're going to be bad until you're good. And like this version of myself, I'm really good. I'm going to be better soon. I'm always going to get better. Okay. Problem when you're getting started is you're the worst. You're the terrible. But the problem is you just need to get doing it. Okay. And that is really hard, but that's the fastest way to learn. The other way is to try and get an internship, which is the hardest thing to go and do. Do you know how I got an internship? At my school, I faxed, that's how old I am. Okay, I faxed a whole bunch of studios and just asked, okay, and that didn't work, which is probably not going to work for you. But somebody found out what I was doing and knew somebody at an agency. So it's hanging out your flag and saying, I want to do graphic design. I'm not very good. I'm just getting started. Can anybody help me? So through Facebook, through LinkedIn, and it's not going to be through random people on Indeed or Monster Jobs. Okay, it's going to be people. It's going to be one of your connections. Okay, so that's the hard bit. Is like, it's hard to put your stuff on your personal Facebook saying, hey, people that know me, that I'm a hard worker, I'm looking to design. Does anybody know anybody? Even if it's like a tangential kind of like connection, or they used to work in it, maybe they'll have a coffee with me. They don't give me a job. I don't even want to get paid. I just want to get some experience, maybe help out for, the school holidays or over Christmas, or, find out when they are busy. And something I can do. I'll work remotely. I'll come in I'll go and stay with aunt in the next state. And it's that part. It's very rarely that I've applied for 100 jobs and I haven't got any. That's the truth for everybody, not you. It's going to be that person that you kind of know that has this weird thing that you kind of went over the top trying to get into that got you the job. That's it. I was faxing all these people. Nobody's replying. And the guy next to the fax machine, this is obviously not going to apply to you now, but that's where I got my job. Okay, you went, oh, I know somebody who works in an agency. Let me give him a call. And his connection with that got me the job, not me. The guy didn't even care. Okay, the guy next to the fax machine trusted me enough, and the agency trusted the fax machine guy to know. Get what I mean? All right. Wilkes, hello. I get a bit confused in the different software. So many. Is Adobe XD similar to Figma, or are they very different? Will Figma be much needed skill set in the future? Thank you. So Adobe XD was a direct competitor for Figma and is now closed. So you can't use it. You might have it on your computer because they haven't killed it, but you can't find it anymore. So it's a direct competitor. So learn Figma. And yes, if you want to be have a look at the job applications for creatives or designers. You will find that they're looking for that kind of unicorn. They're like, all right, I want you to have good retouching. I want you to have good graphic design. I want you to have work in branding. I want you to work in desktop publishing. I want you to be able to use a printer. I want you to be able to use UX design. When they say UX design, it's another word for being able to use Figma. It is the most popular tool at the moment. They just went public. Adobe tried to buy them for $30 billion. So if my perspective is pretty vast when it comes to UX design, and I know it's not going anywhere anytime soon. It might, but yes, it is a totally great industry. There's a lot of people in it, so you've got to kind of work at it, but it's a great place, and it is not going to the robots just yet. And Figma is the one to learn. And by learning Figma, you learn a bit of UX design. There's still theory to learn, but learn Figma. There's so much bits of software, just learn Figma. Yeah. Great question. Underground Heat Records, great name. Does the app teach you how to translate and adopt the design for app development? I'm currently learning React Native and want to learn Figma to improve my design skills. So no, basically Figma is a design tool that gets handed off to the developer who wants to build it in whatever they do. What you can do though is lots of developers will learn Figma to either to help with the design side, or at least understand when you are working with a designer, their limitations, okay, and what they're working with, so that you can help them help you. Because what you'll find is a developer can probably understand a bit of design to a point, whereas a designer won't learn any React, any sort of iOS architecture or anything like that. So it's better for you to learn a little bit of design and help them go like, okay, when you are using icons, don't just pick everything. You have to use the standard iOS icons. That'll be great because I have to use them. Or when you're naming them, don't name them untitled. Like, let's give them a, we've got a naming convention that's really helpful for me. So yes, learn Figma. It's all you get out of Figma really is CSS and images for your app building. You get spacing and all of the other stuff, but you don't get any like real components. The cool thing about them though is that as a developer, if you get stills of let's say it's like some sort of interactive carousel thing, and you get a still of it, you're like, that's not enough. You need to see like, how does it move? Like, what happens when I do this? Is it slowly moving? What is it doing? Like in Figma, you can make all that happen so that when you give it to the developer, they can see a working version. And that's the cool thing. You can get, all right, I know what they're doing. Okay, so you don't have to go back and forth and like, all right, what happens here? What happens here? What happens here? Figma, you can click through everything and fix all those problems. All right, more questions. If you've got any questions, these are good ones, throw them in the comments. I'm going to be going for another little while. Okay, from Zakur Hassan. Where are you from? From New Zealand. I live in Ireland now. I have a weird accent. I probably sound like a Kiwi. I feel like I don't anymore because I'm online teaching YouTube stuff and presenting. A lot of my students are from the US, so I have this like overpronounced version of my accent. But yeah, from New Zealand, from Auckland, from South Auckland, from a place called Manurewa. And now I live in Ireland, live in Limerick, a place called Croke. Yeah, that's where I am. And 2 steps away, is the course geared only for UX designers? I think we covered that one. No, it's for creative people, anybody that wants to get into UX design. That's what it's for. It's based around the tool of Figma, but really it's about getting people like, come on in, use a bit of the software, look, and then slam the door. Ha, you're a UX designer, or at least a newbie UX designer. That's the goal of the course, is like, yeah, it starts with absolutely no experience needed. And then at the end, you're an amateur UX designer. Probably better than most in the software as well, because this Essentials course is 10 hours. So link in the description. What else? Ernie, what are the pros and cons of using AI when using Figma? There's no cons, just pros in my experience. The cons, I guess, are generated images. Like it's got an image generator in it. It looks like AI generated images, especially for people. Anything else like nondescript stuff, abstract stuff, brilliant. You can make icons by typing them in. Need a home button? Make me a home icon. Okay, it's still not perfect yet. So there are better libraries online. There are better photographs from photographers. But for generic stuff, it's kind of a good replacement for, say, a stock library for no people. Does everything else really good. The AI for things like placeholder content, brilliant. For actual content, not so good. You know, copywriters are getting replaced by AI, but you can tell, you know, if you're a master of AI and ChatGPT and kind of use it, like one of the tips that I'm going to give you is when you're using it, it'll give you AI banal stuff in terms of copy. Okay, but what you can do is like think of somebody who you really like in terms of a marketer, an advertiser, a marketing agency. You can kind of say, hey, act as that person and give me a response to this question. And you can find, you know, it will give you more point of view, something unique, not generic. The AI will get better. I liked the generate mock-up of this thing. And you're like, oh, it's going to replace UX design. Nope, you get a generic template. And guess what? We've had templates forever. And guess what? We still need a UX designer. That's kind of where AI is and where I see it being. Because like the value in UX design is more about like getting the brief, questioning the brief, figuring out what we can do within this budget. You know, like there's all these things that are outside of just using Figma. Okay, Figma will you'll get faster at using Figma with AI. You won't get replaced, because imagine giving my dad Figma and a text prompt to say make the app. He'd make something and it would look okay. That'd be it. You'd have this okay looking app that sat there on the page. Okay, UX design is more about, you know, tightening up the brief, working within constraints, working with a customer, a client, a boss, working with the users who's going to be using the app, testing it with them. And that's the one thing is like sometimes graphic design, I did it and it was done. Underlined, we all cheered, okay, and I was done. Move on to the next job. UX design, because it's quite digital, it is only digital. Okay, websites and apps, it never ends. Never ends. Like bringyourownlaptop.com has been changed a squillion times. We change it all the time. Okay, we are adjusting things. You know, I'm a UX designer. I've got a full-time UX designer working for Bring Your Laptop, Victoria Barrow. Hey. I got a full-time developer working. Okay, Malcolm Knott. Hey. We are changing everything because we're like, all right, we're trying to eke out percents of like, all right, this is not working. The comments, people are getting lost here. People want to cancel. How do we maybe mitigate that? Like there's all these things and we change something and we're like, all right, it's 1% better. And then we look at 3 months later and we're like, all right, it's worse than it was before. Turn it back. Rah! And let's look at it again and look at why and like analyze. We've got data scientists, Kyle, hey, and you know, trying to figure it all out. Yeah, UX design, I love it. It's great fun. It's never ending. And I don't even remember what the question was. What's the key things to ask when joining a new enterprise level design system? Oh, that's a good one. So if people don't know what that is, a design system is, let's say, Bring Your Laptop has more like a design spec. Victoria works, because she's on her own for the company, she doesn't need a design system because there's nobody else using it. I just go in and break stuff every now and again, okay? But I try and stay out of her way. If I was working at, let's say, Figma or Facebook, let's say Facebook. Facebook has a load of people working there. Lots of designers, lots of product managers. They all have to follow, it all has to look like Facebook, okay? They've learned things, so they write them all down, okay? And mock them all up and display them all, and that's called a design system. Go have a look at them. Look, design system Facebook, design system Amazon. You'll find them online. They're free. I don't know why they put public. UX design's like that. Everything is out there to be shared. Adobe has one. It's called Spectrum. What else do I know? The Apple one is, you know, iOS is out there. The operating system for Android is out there. Windows has one. They're all free. Go look out their design systems. It is so interesting. That's probably where I would start, is I would go out and look at other people's design systems. If the enterprise you're working for doesn't have a public one, just go and look at everyone else's and write down the questions you would have, not make them up, you know, like, okay, so can I see your design system? If you haven't seen it before, you know, ask them, is it kind of like that? See if you can find some differences yourself between the one that Amazon uses and Facebook, you know, you know, is there a lot of things like language, you know, is there a design language, you know, how do I put this? Like, you know, a cliche version is, you know, are we all eco-friendly or are we humanistic? Or, you know, like, or is it just like, these are the pixels, don't put anything closer to that, this is how drop-downs work? Is it very mechanical or is it very, you know, can't think of the word, like emotive, you know, where we're actually, it's part branding, part design spec, or is it quite mechanical, technical? I'm not helping. I'm going to give up there. GWGD, is there an updated Webflow course coming, or is Figma Sites going to overtake Webflow? That's what I'm watching at the moment. I got to decide whether Webflow still works, the course. I've got it if you want to go do it. Figma Sites, I just got to do this Figma Advanced and then we'll catch my breath and decide whether it's Figma Sites or update for Webflow. It's going to be interesting. Things that you can go and check for yourself if you're like, oh, which one should I do? Go things like something like Google Trends is one that I use as well. Go and look on YouTube. You know, are there 1,000 new videos on Webflow, or is there 1,000 new videos on Figma Sites? Is Figma Sites just not catching on? It's got a dumb name. Okay, FigJam was cool. It's jamming. Fig Sites. It makes sense, but it's like, I don't know. It probably will. They are so powerful at the moment. They've just gone public. I don't know. That's the question. I'd like to have better insight, but I don't. Let's do, what are we at? Let's do 2 more. Taylor, we'll do 3 more. Taylor, can you highlight the best ones left in the list? And if somebody drops a new one and it's really good, Taylor will highlight it. So if you're in the comment, if you're in the live chat, throw a question in there, and we'll wrap up in a couple of minutes here. Just do 3 more. Okay, Whimsical Curl Girl. Whimsical Girl. Oh, it's a good name. Can students learning with your courses qualify for Figma Education Plan? Nope. Education Plan has to be like a public or private, but institution has to be, you know, a public school, a high school, university, a college, some sort of accredited. You'll have a look. They'll show you their accredited versions to get the educational version. My courses, any short course online, won't let you. Sushi Girl, hoodie, can I get one? Ooh, so I made this, right? So I designed it in Illustrator. I got a course for that. So on bringyourlaptop.com. And then I've got it's a Cricut. Anybody else got one? It is a Cricut cutter, and it cuts it out. So there was pink, then I put down the gray, then I put down the white, and then I put down the gold. And I made this thing. I'm scared to wash it because I really like it being fluoro. So I made this thing. For the Figma Advanced course, for Figma Essentials, and what we're going to do soon is we're going to give away this. Check this bad boy out. What is it? It is like a shortcut keyboard for Figma. It's got the right colors. It's set up for it. It's got the Figma logo on it. I'm going to be giving one of these away, okay, for you. It'll be slightly used by me. I'll even sign it, okay? I'll even clean my fingerprints off it. What it is, it's just a great way having sitting next to your that's a keyboard, okay? And you've got like the scale and the make component and add instance and auto layout buttons just there. You don't have to like remember the shortcuts or click on them. They're all just there. It's super cool. You can program it to do whatever you want for any software. This one just happens to be for Figma. Look at the big F on the back. So for anybody signing up, sign up for Figma at Bring Your Own Laptop. And we're going to be giving away one of these to somebody who's doing the new course at bringyourlaptop.com. So yeah. Why do I say that? It's because that's what we're going to do for the Figma Advanced. I made it. I've showed a few of the team and everyone loves it. And I was like, I'm going to make another one for whatever size the person is. And because this is a medium, just so you know, it's a little snug. So if you're a medium, probably go for a large. Okay. But I'll reach out. We'll give one of these away as well. I'll even sign it. I'm not sure why I'm signing stuff, but I don't know. I'll sign it. And we'll make one of these for a giveaway for that Figma Advanced course, which is coming out soon. Link in the description for that when it is out. All right, let's do the last one. Isaac, what's the concepts in Figma you would say are the most important to know as a UX UI designer? So concepts in Figma, probably not Figma. Figma is just a tool. If you learn Photoshop, you learn Illustrator, you learn InDesign, you learn After Effects, DaVinci, whatever it is, it's just a tool. It's about practice in it, okay? What's more important is probably the user testing. That's where Figma is the most powerful. You can, like, it's really cool, right? You can, like, I've got my phone here. I'm not sure I'm showing you it, but there's a Figma app. Oh, can I load my Figma? Come on, Brent. Oh, Figma. Oh, I gotta sign in. Okay, but there's an app on your phone. It's free. Okay, it's called Figma Mirror. You can design something in Figma, send it to your phone, and then give it to somebody to play with in terms of somebody, it might just be your colleague next to him and say, hey, can you add something to the cart and try and check out? And you just sit back and watch them. and watch them get lost. You're like, why? I've designed it. It's beautiful. Why are you lost? And then you can make a quick change and it updates automatically. Then go back to them. So, well, how about now? And they're like, oh, that's heaps better. And you're like, oh, you've just saved time. You've saved developers time. You've made money, okay? Because they got to the place easier. You know, it's more about, yeah, it's the testing part, because the whole picking fonts and picking colors and picking images and getting that is an amazing part of UX design. It's kind of more the UI side. I love it. It's great fun. It's kind of some of the most bits that I love, but the most important bit is the learning from testing, okay? And like we've got Bring a Laptop VIPs, okay? We send them stuff when we're making it to get feedback from them. They are so useful, okay? Because me and Vic have an idea about what people probably want, and then we give it to them, and they're like, yeah, this is perfect. We're like, yeah, we're awesome. And then they go, I don't even know why I'm doing this. And you're like, they don't even know why they're doing this. Should we be doing this? It's like, that is the, like, it sucks, but it also is the best part of UX design, where you're like, all right, guys, is there a reason we're doing this? And then we figure out, no, we could probably do it with this other thing. And you're like, okay, spent ages kerning that thing, and you don't need it at all. So testing is probably the fundamental part. And you can learn that in the Essentials course, link in the description. But yeah, that's probably the big takeaway. Once you get more advanced, like the advanced course that I'm making, then it can come down to like some of the techniques about styles and component libraries, and those things can save time for larger enterprise customers. But most of the people doing my course are kind of people transitioning into the new part for the Essentials course. Nothing like that's in there for the Essentials. Okay, it's more about getting used to the terms, the tools, and making stuff. And the advanced, we get into a little bit more of the hardcore, like variables and variants and all sorts of stuff. That's what I'm doing at the moment. All right, I've said it a few times, link in the description. Come join me for Figma Essentials, okay? And yeah, we'll learn Figma together. Even if you're brand new, you never done UX, UI design, you've been looking at it for ages, and you're like, now's the time. It's a great course. I made it, so it's great. But it's the course I wish I had. I know people say that, but like, man, it was scary getting into UX design. But once you're in there, you're like, okay, this is a cool place, and it's not, there's a bit of language change, but it's not actually that scary, and it's actually kind of fun. Do it through the Figma Essentials course. It's the easiest way. You'll have a skill, and you'll learn some basics of UX design and kind of come out less freaked out by it, with some employable skills and some portfolio pieces. All right, that is it. Live stream is going to be over. That is the Q&A for Figma. What is it? What does it do? Who am I? I'm Dan Scott. You should go do the Figma Essentials course. Bye, everyone. How cool is this jumper? So bright. I'm never going to wash it, though. Ever. There's no way it can stay this color after a wash. All right. Bye. Turn it off. Go for the turning off. There needs to be like a voice activated turning off this thing, because there's a finish now over and an end broadcast. End broadcast.